The film portrays a dual approach to fatherhood. How interesting was it for you to explore these two polar opposites?
Sam became a father, when we started out, right? I
Yeah.
mean, he wasn't, and I think that he's probably. I mean, I can't. I'm not going to speak for Sam, but for myself, it's fatherhood is not something that Quaritch really sought, and it's something that he kind of forgot about. He compartmentalized it back in the day when the first Avatar went down, and now he's confronted with it, and he becomes more. He's got to deal with it, and he deals with it in conflicted ways. Some of it is very satisfying to him, and some of it is just a big pain in the ass for him. It seems to me. Yeah, that's kind of the short answer on this.
Yeah, look, the boy becomes the bridge between the characters, more so than any animosity and any kind of past thoughts of betrayal or anything like that. The boy is what becomes the bridge to the future of this relationship.
Avatar Fire and Ash takes up the narrative structure of Western movies. Is there nothing left to tell today, or is the way stories are told that allows them to renew themselves?
Storytelling's been around since the dawn of man, I think. So I think Jim uses this platform to investigate all these great themes and to investigate questions within himself in regards to family and love, like, massive themes, massive undertaking. I think he scratched the surface of what he can achieve on this planet. We've gone from the jungle underwater to the volcanoes and other things, but it's minute compared to how big this moon of Pandora is, and in turn the universe. So I think Jim, if we get the opportunity, I know he's got much more to explore, and in very unexpected ways.
Which are the themes that resonate with you the most about this movie?
The theme that resonates the most with me is that family dynamic. This is a love story. That's how it started, Jake and Neytiri. The natural extension was a family, and now we're putting challenges and stresses on that family unit and seeing how these characters can discover that they're stronger together.
And I think that this film suggests that there is damage that can be irreversible, and we don't want to be there. We want to do everything we possibly can to protect and to nurture our home. And when we do that, we actually become what we're supposed to be. We become not only better, we become responsible, members of the universe.
Your characters are listened to by adults and end up imposing their voices. How important is it to leave room for younger generation who often have a much clearer vision?
I think it's not only is it important, but it's also one of those things that's just kind of gonna happen. Like there's the younger, whatever generation is youngest, well, not youngest, but whatever generation is probably in like the tweens to early 20s is gonna have the loudest voice in the world. And I think it's because they always see the world from the freshest perspective. And I think in this film you see that they got a taste for what the world of Pandora is currently like, and they want a way to make it better. And I think they want to use that youthful energy and wisdom to really spread, I think, change, and really convince also their parents and elders and everyone. Be like, hey guys, like we gotta stand up and make some differences here.
Your characters are deeply connected to nature, and they make me think to the Friday for Future generation. Should Avatar's environmental message be reflected in world politics to help raise our voices?
I think voices are very raised. I think it's about the adults and the media giving the children the mic. They're speaking up, they're listening. I mean, living in New York City, I think it's very interesting because there's a lot of things that I see in my day-to-day of people trying to speak up but not being heard, not being able to reach it. So I really think and this film talks You see that in Avatar Fire and Ash, the collaboration between the older generation and the younger generation, because change is only going to be created when that happens. And I really also want to emphasize how there's so many women leads in Avatar Fire and Ash, and that's really beautiful because it took a man to realize in his career to add nuance to with females characters, and that is really something that Avatar Fire and Ash shows, and I'm really excited for audiences to see that collaboration is how we are going to create change at this point where we are in the world.
I really love how Fire and Ash explores how these characters unravel how things should be or how things usually are when they get to raise their voice and whether they're heard or not, and how that goes and how it's defied. I think it's a really beautiful demonstration of whether they are heard or not, and how that all goes as, you know, they are able to grab the mic or not. And I think it's a really cool theme in this movie that is definitely coming into play more in this film, in this saga, as these young characters are growing and they're going through their coming of age, and they're also in these times where they need to be able to stand up for themselves and for what they believe in.